What's up, y'all? This your boy Greg the Gameaholic, and I'm coming at you guys with another review for Bad Boys for Life. And you guys see how amped I am? That's because I felt like it was an amazing movie. I'm gonna just tell y'all that right now. I think y'all need to go see the movie. Now, it did have some flaws, but I say instead of waiting to the end of the review, the movie was amazing. Go see it. But now I'm gonna tell you why you should go see it. But before I get into that, for those people who are new, I give away a ton of consoles. In fact, I'm giving away 3 consoles absolutely for free by the end of January. All you got to do to sign up is just click the link in the description below after you watch this video, and in that way you can go and get your entries for the free console giveaways. Again, it doesn't cost anything, no credit card information, nothing like that. Also, at the bottom of the video, you will see a scavenger code. Make sure you write down each letter or number, and then once you're done, once you collect all of them, you click on the link to actually submit the scavenger code, and then you'll get entries towards the free console giveaway. Now back to the review. Like I said, I felt like the movie was amazing, but let me go ahead and break it down why, and then again, I'm gonna give you guys some cons as well. Now, first off, like, you have to understand, like, I watched all 3 movies. I've watched the first 2 maybe about 100 times a piece, and I think it's a phenomenal franchise. Now, each of them did have, well, the first one I felt was like a perfect movie. The second one I felt it was a little long. Like, it was drawn out just a little bit. I think they could have cut some parts, but it was still an amazing movie. But this third one, I felt that even though it was a long movie, it didn't feel like a 2.5-hour movie. So that's one thing. The other thing is it did a really great job bringing you in emotionally. Like, the first 2, I don't think you was involved really like an emotional level. Like, yeah, there was exciting parts. A lot of parts was funny, but this one, it had its up and down where I would say it's probably about a good 2 or 3 scenes in the movie where I was like, damn, like, not only was I at the edge of my seat, I was emotionally like hurt. Like, because I mean, a lot of these characters that you see in this movie, myself, I basically grew up with them, like seeing them from the first movie to the second movie to the third movie. You kind of get a relationship and know how these people are. You know their backstories, their family history for the most part. And to see certain stuff happen to some of these characters, it's just like, whoa, like, yeah, like, it got to the point where I almost cried on a couple parts, so that's not going to give away anything but like that. But just to give you guys an idea, like, it was a lot of stuff that happened where it was just so unpredictable. It was shocking, and it was just like, damn, like, it just brought me down on an emotional level. But then there were parts where it was like, man, I'm proud, I'm excited, I'm happy, so it did a really great job bringing you guys in emotionally. And I think Will Smith does an amazing job. Like, for example, like I said, I almost cried a couple times. I rarely cry on movies. Like, I've only cried on 3 movies in my life. I cried on Pursuit of Happiness, the subway scene when it was him and his son. I cried on 7 Pounds, knowing the end of the movie of, everything that transpired in the movie and how everything came to be. Which is a coincidence. Those are 2 Will Smith movies. I highly suggest seeing both of those if you haven't seen it. And then the other movie I cried on was Passion of the Christ. Now, you don't have to be religious to see that movie. I mean, it's a good viewpoint as far as on the story that's told about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jesus Christ. But seeing what they did to him, if it was anybody, going through what he did in that movie, I felt was very emotional. Like, I cried my eyes out on that movie, and I'm not even really like a super religious person like that. But anyways, it did a really great job bringing people in emotionally. So on that standpoint, it was amazing. The other thing was, I will have to mention, which they did a really great job, was, I will say, is the action. It was action throughout the movie. It was great. The effects was decent, but it wasn't nothing that was like too over the top. Like, there's some movies out there that's just like, they have scenes you like, come on now, really? So perfect example, I will say is like the Fast and Furious franchise. Even though I like the franchise, you know, it has its ups and downs. But for an example, spoiler alert for those people who haven't seen the one with that Paul Walker passed in, rest in peace. He was definitely gone too early in his time. But, you know, some of the movies you be like, what the hell? You know, so perfect example, like when they was in one building and then they had to drive the car so fast in that short amount of space in that building to fly through that building, clear a large gap to fly through another building and then be completely safe. Like if they did that, people would die in real life. That was physically impossible. You can't do that. Or the other scene in the same movie, like when Vin Diesel was, I think it was the same movie, when Vin Diesel was riding on the car and they was getting chased by the tank and everything, and then he seen Letty was about to start flying across the bridge, so he jumped on his car, he crashes, he flies, and then she crashes, and she flies, and at the exact point in midair, he catches her instead of them smacking down and falling to their death. He catches her, but apparently, I guess because he's bigger and stronger, he had more momentum to do a Superman catch and take her to the other side of the bridge. Okay, whatever. But then they land perfectly safe. Like, no, if that was real life, that wouldn't have happened. They would have collided. They would have died. Or even if he did Superman catch them and make it safely to the other side, they would have hit the car. They would have had brain damage. There's no... Anyway, so like I said, some stuff is just completely over the top. This movie had some highly unlikely scenes, but I won't say physically impossible. When I mean by highly unlikely, I mean like everything has to line up perfectly for certain stuff to work. You know, so the timing had to be right. The person who's doing it had to be skilled enough to pull it off. You know, the opportunity had to present itself. So yes, it had a couple of those moments, but it wasn't too over the top. Hopefully I explained that well. All right, so that was, say, is the one con that some of it was like, come on, but it wasn't too bad. It didn't destroy the essence of the movie. The other thing that I will say, which it did a really great job, and this can like make or break movies, I would have to say is the plot twist. This movie had a plot twist. The first two didn't really have a plot twist. Like the plot was decent and it was strong all the way through, but you can kind of, I don't want to say predict, but you can kind of understand where the movie was going in the first two. You're like, okay, it's going to be a final fight. It's going to be bad guys, whatever. You know, this one, you can predict the ending or the middle, like, or the main story. So that's what I will say was really great. It had a hell of a plot twist. So for an example, spoiler alert for those people who haven't seen Sixth Sense, you might want to skip ahead to the next 30 to 45 seconds. But what made that movie so great was because of the plot twist. You know, you got this guy, Bruce Willis, who was this kid's therapist, but then come to find out the entire movie, by the end, he was dead the whole time. Boom, plot twist. Or here's another one, you know, Book of Eli. If you haven't seen Book of Eli, you might want to skip ahead the next 30 to 45 seconds. But anyway, you got this badass Denzel Washington kicking ass and taking names throughout the entire movie. You're like, okay, there's nothing really special about this. Okay. But then at the end of the movie, you find out he was blind. Boom, plot twist. But it was ruined for me. So somebody, I just asked him, hey, did you go see Book of Eli yet? And this person was like, yeah, it was crazy that he was blind the whole time. Like, dude, calm down. I was just wanting to ask you to see how it was. I ain't need you to drop that bomb. But because he dropped that bomb on me, I didn't get to experience like everybody else. So hopefully I didn't mess it up for y'all. But I warned you, skip ahead about 35 to 45 seconds. But anyway, Bad Boys had a plot twist. I won't say it was like that extreme, but the plot twist was so good where you could not predict what was going to happen at the end of the movie. So, and I won't say lastly, another thing was, they may open it up to a fourth movie. It's possible. So yeah, it's good. It could go just like how, you know, you wasn't sure it's going to be a Bad Boys 3. Hey, we're not going to be sure if it's a Bad Boys 4. You know, it's possible. They've introduced new characters who can either carry on the mantle or... Anyway, it could be a Bad Boys 4. All in all, The movie was great. The action was great. You know, Will Smith and Martin, they both did their thing. So I highly, highly suggest you guys to go see this movie, support this movie. And in the comments, let me know if this something was the movie. Like, if you've seen the movie, let me know if you agree with my review. If you haven't seen it, let me know if I made you excited to see it, or you're like, nah, I'm a pass. But all in all, I'm actually probably gonna go see it again with my lady, because I went with some other friends last night. She stayed and watched the babies. I felt kind of bad about that, but that's the life of parents. Oh, the other thing was, I really feel that a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but parents, I think they're going to get a little bit more out of this movie as well. They do a really great job as far as incorporating their lives. And so I think parents is going to get a kick out of some of the jokes as well. Oh, and here's another assessment as well. They really did a great job as far as for the comedic aspect of it. Like, the comedy wasn't, it had a time and a place for everything. And that's what the Bad Boys franchise has been great at. There were a couple times where I felt that it could have been a little bit more serious. They'd throw in some jokes here and there, but it was like some moments I think could have, well, actually maybe about just one moment where it could have just been straight serious. But they do a really great job for like the end of the movie. So for an example, at the end of part one, once the girl was kidnapped, and then they was like, okay, shit has hit the fan. As soon as you get to the airport, the end between that time until all the way to the end of the movie, serious. It was no jokes being cracked, nothing. Like, I don't remember smiling until the very, very end, till when they sit on the car. Same thing with the second one. Once Marcus's sister, Gabrielle Union, once she was actually captured and they had to sneak into Mexico to go get her, it wasn't no jokes. It was serious from that point forward until after they killed the bad guy. This is how you shoot. From now on, this is how you shoot. That was like the last part is like, okay. So they did something similar to this movie where once everything hit the fan, I don't want to give nothing away, but once it hit the fan, it was serious from that point forward until the end of the movie. Just like, so it followed the same formula when it came to serious moments. Like, serious moments was serious. People didn't crack any jokes like that during that time. But anyway, that's your review. Again, I appreciate you guys for watching it and supporting me. If you want to participate in the free giveaways, again, click the link at the bottom. You should have the entire scavenger code by now. But if not, you can always rewatch it, collect them all. But again, thanks again. I have more content coming out soon, more video game plan. I'm actually going to be doing the Dragon Ball Z game that hits PlayStation 4. It actually hits tonight, so I'm gonna probably be up all night playing that. So if you want a good review or a good first impression, make sure you come back. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. Again, if you're new, hey, let me know so I can give you a warm welcome. But with that being said, thanks again. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. All right. Also, before I forget, I'm announcing 2 more finalists for the free console giveaways. All right. So the first finalist that was pulled today was Josue Valdez from the United States. And then Josue has 2,395 entries. So good job on getting all those entries. Keep it going, though. And then we have Jamie Richards from the U.S. as well with 4,870 entries. But Jamie Richards was also referred by Steven Richards. So Steven, congratulations. You're technically a finalist. Jamie, you are a finalist. And Josue Valdez is a finalist. So remember, if you refer somebody and the person you referred wins a console, you win a console as well. So if Jamie wins a console, Steven will win one too. So good luck to you guys. Again, everybody, get your entries, get as much as you can. The more entries you got, the better your odds. And then also, for every 500 entries you get, if you become a finalist, that's an extra entry as a finalist. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, theories, hypotheses, feedback, conclusions, or just want to say what's up, make sure you do so below. And again, for real this time, peace.